Once upon a time, in a small quiet town, lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was a bright, imaginative child, but he carried a heavy burden, a tendency to run and hide from his problems. When faced with something difficult, his first instinct was to escape. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Davids, noticed this pattern with growing concern. It wasn't simple disobedience, it was a deep seated fear of confrontation. They saw it first with his homework, a math problem that seemed too complex would send him under his bed, pretending to be asleep. Later, it was his dreaded piano lessons. The moment his teacher corrected him, he suddenly feels sick and refused to go. Mr. and Mrs. Davids would often reflect on the story of Jonah. He would think about how Jonah, much like Leo, tried to abscond from the presence of God because he didn't want to carry out the task given to him in Jonah chapter 1 verse 1 to 3. Jonah's story was a powerful reminder that running from your duties only leads to more trouble. The tipping point came one summer. Leo was supposed to play the lead role in the local community play, an opportunity he has been so excited about. But as rehearsals grew more intense and the pressure mounted, Leo began to withdraw. He would hide in his room, feigning headache and becoming deviant when his parents tried to encourage him. This wasn't just about being naughty, it was about shame and fear. Leo was hiding not just from the play, but from the pressure and his own fear of failure. His parents realized they couldn't just scold him, they had to understand him. They made a cautious effort to identify the reason for his challenge. They took note of the signs, the hiding, the deviance, his refusal to participate. They saw the pattern and triggers. The closer he got to the performance, the more he would try to escape. They created a safe space for him, a quiet corner in the living room where he could talk without judgment. They began to teach him coping skills, starting with something simple, deep breath when he felt overwhelmed. They encouraged a growth mindset, teaching him that mistakes were a part of learning, not a sign of failure. They taught him problem-solving skills, breaking down the overwhelming play rehearsals into smaller, manageable steps. One evening, Mr. David sat with Leo and told him the story of David and Goliath. Imagine if David had escaped from Goliath. Instead of confronting him, he said, the children of Israel would have stayed longer in that situation. He explained that running from a challenge only makes it bigger. He told Leo that he was stronger than his fears and that confronting them head-on was the only way to truly overcome them. Leo listened, his eyes wide. He understood that his tendencies were not just hurting him, but they were also holding him back from his full potentials. With his parents' support, he returned to the play rehearsals. He was still scared, but this time, he didn't run. He faced his fears, learned his lines, and performed with a newfound resilience. On the opening night, as the curtains closed to thunderous applause, Leo looked out into the audience, a huge smile on his face. He hadn't just performed the play, he had confronted his escape tendencies and won. From that day forward, he was no longer a boy who hid from his problems, but a young man who faced them headlong, resilient, and strong. Thank you for watching. If you find this video useful, kindly share, like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.